Sucking on my own dick, yeah, you know I'm sucking on my own dick. Sucking on my dick, everybody's sucking their own dicks. Sucking on our own dicks, everybody's sucking their own dicks. Sucking on our dicks, yeah, you know I'm sucking on my dicks. Sucking on my
Welcome
dick.
to Coward Hour. Just want to clear the air up top. Our guest this week was supposed to be Chris D'Elia.
Right.
And we were really excited to have him, but, you know, me and Nick, we got together and we talked about it. And we realized we just can't
We
elevate. We can't give someone like that
A platform.
a platform this big.
Do you know what's so funny? Ironically, now we could get him. Like we could get him like next week.
Do you think this, is this actually taking him down?
I know that Mike from Red Bar dedicated a 4-hour video to him. Apparently,
Friend of the cast, Mike from Red Bar, who called. I think he called me like a fucking loser and a weirdo.
No, but he
he
likes
has some
you.
funny 9/11 jokes.
No, he likes you.
He does?
He thought you were a fucking loser and weirdo. Then he heard your jokes and he goes, "I kind of like this little guy."
Oh yeah.
Brendan. Like, that's like how I think I don't want to rehash it, but I think Shane's kind of nervous that this guy's up there. It's good. He's friends with Low Res too. When I don't know when that fucking episode is coming out, but at the end of our De Palma episode, we were talking about Red Bar. He goes, "Oh yeah, Red Bar likes Brendan, right?" He's like, "I just got name dropped on Red Bar." So the Red Bar verse, we're all in it, man.
We're all in it. Yeah.
Mike, the Mike-averse.
Man, we are so adjacent to so many profitable podcast universes.
Dude, I was thinking about that today and pretty much like every day this week.
Yeah, it's just thinking how close we are to like a spotlight.
It'll never happen.
But it'll never happen.
It will never happen.
It'll never.
I literally had that thought laying in bed today. I was just like, it'll never happen.
I'm just gonna delete this number from my phone.
It was so funny. Oh my God. I do think it's actually taking him down though, because you know what's weird? Well, it's funny. If you see like Chris D'Elia, he did a whole bit on his podcast about like, you think there's a Hollywood pedophile ring? Okay, bro. It's not that you're a loser with too much time on your hands. And it's like, dude, you're famous because your dad is a notable TV director. Like,
Yeah.
what fucking skeletons are in your closet?
Oh, for sure.
You know, he plays a comedian who is a pedophile on the second season of You.
Yeah, I mean, that's what these guys, at this point, I think they just get bored of molesting children. And they're like, well, now I want to walk a tightrope.
Well, it's just like, you think it's...
I mean, it's the same as the Drake thing. He's like, yeah, I can groom children, but can I do it on Instagram publicly?
Well, that's what it's all about, dude.
Yeah.
That's putting the pyramid on the dollar bill, right? It's right in our faces.
Yeah.
That's how they're getting off.
I was reading today in like the 70s or 80s or something. There's this program in Germany, I think, where this government official, he was in charge of placing foster kids with parents. And he put this forward as like an experiment that he wanted to run.
Here we go.
Like, like the scientific method. He's like, I think that we should place these children with pedophiles because the pedophiles will love them more. And for some reason, like whatever like council was in charge of this was like, all right. I mean,
What? When was this?
this was like in the 70s.
In the
He was some like academic who like I think that there was a time where you could write like a paper in defense of pedophilia
Right.
and people would be like, I mean, I disagree, but he shouldn't lose his job or anything.
The printed word used to be so trusted. It's like, well, they wouldn't publish it if it,
I mean, it's the
if
right.
it was wrong.
Well, it's 12 points, so I don't think I can. I don't think I can really disagree.
The formatting is impeccable.
Damn, look at that kerning. I guess children's assholes shouldn't remain their own. I guess maybe the space in between the whole does belong to someone else.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
So that pedophile is just keeping an eye on the grundle until it's fully grown.
But like, yeah, I mean, apparently, and I didn't read much of this at all.
Sure.
But so this academic guy who like got that position in government, when he said pedophiles, he meant like other professors that he knew. So basically, just like he got a job in government to hook up his buddies. He was basically doing Trump shit, where he's like, "Oh, what, the masks? My son-in-law Jared can get those out."
That boy put the team on his back, dude.
Yeah,
He literally brought the hood up with him. Like, that was-
yeah. That night, just a whole bunch of dudes in fucking tweed blazers with elbow patches, just all singing with like a stein in their hand.
he's Tommy and Goodfellas. It's literally like,
Tiki taki, tiki tiki, oi, oi, oi.
when Fritz got made, it was like we were all getting made. Dude, that is fucking insane.
I mean, it's only like last 5 years that you had to like hide being a pedophile.
Yeah. I think this is why
It used to be like, it's like, oh man, that guy's a pedophile. I can see him in my direct eye line molesting a child, but I don't want to be rude.
right.
I don't want to be like a busybody.
Fuck. I think he is going down though, because there are now clips coming out of like other comedians like hinting at the fact that Chris D'Elia likes underage girls. Like there was this clip of Theo Vaughn on the Brendan, I think it was The Fighter and the Kid, or maybe it was his podcast, and he was like he just said something about he's like I'm worried about D'Elia's cult, because I can tell you there's gonna be a lot of underage girls in that cult, and they're all gonna be drinking the Kool-Aid, and you're like,
What?
we were fine with this? Like, that didn't raise any alarms?
It's really funny that he's like bad at comedy.
Yeah, dude. It's so funny. He's the one. I don't want to ruffle any feathers. Never mind.
Who gives a dude? Do you think anyone is ever giving us a shot other than the hard times?
Because Tim Dillon was like defending him on Twitter, and I was like, oh, the one guy that Tim Dillon won't accuse of being a pedophile. Twitter, you've been off Twitter, right?
I have. I deleted Facebook. I deleted Twitter. You got to get on Signal. Get back in the group chat.
I'll get on Signal, but it was oh my God, it was like fucking clockwork, dude. This morning, oh, it was delicious. So last night, Brian Yang, for some reason, this comic in New York, Asian comic, he was like, Megan Amram has been really great to me throughout my career. She was even really kind to me when I was in the hospital with COVID-19. But these tweets are unacceptable. And he posted a tweet from 2011. Like, Megan Amram wasn't in the news. He, for some reason, this person who was like a friend of his, he went back 10 years and found a tweet where she said, it's not politically correct to call them retarded anymore. The correct term is Asian American. Which is a good joke.
Pretty good tweet.
And so he called her out. She made this insane, like, 6-paragraph apology. Like, this poor woman's, because this is happening because it's in fucking quarantine. And so, like, for a night.
Yeah, why is everybody losing their minds in quarantine? And it's like a Mexican standoff of canceling people.
Dude, it literally this morning turned into the fucking Hateful Eight. So in the wee hours of the morning, what must have been like 5 a.m.
Jake
East Coast
Flores
time,
just shoots himself in the middle of it.
literally, I'm getting there.
Oh, damn, I called
I
it.
am getting there. So this girl, her name is Ambivalent. What? She's like a female, like a femcel or something. She's like, she quote. So Brian Yang was like king for a night, right? He was basking in the glow of all of his fucking likes. And then she's like, this is an oddly cruel thing to do to somebody who was nice to you when you could have just like DM'd her if this was seriously an issue. Oh, by the way. And then she dug up 20 of his tweets about Jews and black people and the N-word. And then he got canceled even fucking harder. It was so awesome, dude.
It's like the food chain. It's like the
yes.
it's like in Star Wars Episode 1 where like the little fish gets eaten by like the big fish,
Dude,
and then the
Gillis was taking shots. It was so fucking great. And then Flores starts going after this girl, digging up her tweets about like her Mexican coworkers who wouldn't stop saying the N-word, which isn't even really problematic. She was like calling them out for it. And then like in this thread of calling her out, he goes, by the way, just so it's on the record, I have said the N-word on an Asian in an Asian voice on a podcast before. Probably wouldn't do it again, but context is everything. And then she messages him. She's like, I didn't delete those tweets. Here they are. They're not racist. And he goes, why are you so obsessed with me? And it's like, this is fucking mental illness en masse, dude. It is. I
always wonder, like, because all these people have the same followers and they're all liking this shit. It's like, who the fuck are these people?
Dude, I don't know, but
Like, if you don't do comedy or like write a blog or whatever, like, how is this in any way enjoyable for you to consume?
people love the drama. Dude. I'll tell you, I said this to Robbie. I've been watching interrogation videos of mothers.
Damn, I love learning about your new YouTube hole.
I've been watching interrogation videos of mothers who murdered their children, and it's like the drama is incredible. It's...
What is this, TNT?
Bro, characters are welcome. I guess that's TBS, actually.
That'd be so sick. Just me as a judge. I'm like, what is this, TNT? Because characters are welcome. And I just bomb with the courtroom.
But yeah, I think, dude, I can tell you, drama is one of the most. It's the only currency we have. I think it really is in this day and age.
It's much like the 1800s. Tea is very valuable.
Incredibly valuable.
We will sail across the ocean for tea.
For real. But it was funny to witness like a microcosm of, like, you would think that in the course of 12 hours, seeing that literal Ouroboros, it's like, okay, none of this is fucking real. That should like disprove it immediately.
Also,
that
like,
chain of events.
Also, to like, if that's your priority when the police are shooting people's eyes out with rubber bullets daily,
Dude, exactly.
what the fuck?
You can't, it's like, this is the shit that I can't say, but I'm gonna say, but it's like, it's so clearly, and fuck it, I'm saying it. An Asian dude saw that like black people were having a moment with being oppressed and getting a lot of likes on Twitter, and he was like, how can I have a chance in the spotlight? Let me fucking dig up a tweet from a woman who's not even in the news from 10 years ago, who I have a personal relationship with. What are you fucking doing? His tweets sucked too. Like, all of his racist jokes were not even funny.
Jesus Christ! I mean,
fucking. I'm glad you're off Twitter, dude.
I feel much better. I mean, it's nice to get like my briefing from you.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ, people, like, we've been seeing all these weird random cancellations because these comics who normally get to go to open mics and like be snippy and like clicky and shitty to people, now they're in their fucking houses. They're like, who can I bully?
Yeah.
I'm in my house.
I haven't made a good point. I haven't made a society approved.
I haven't gotten my claps yet.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I'm not at an open mic, so I can't ignore someone who's funnier than me because they're not in my club when they try to like join the circle of conversation.
Yeah.
So I guess I need to dig up 15-year-old tweets. I mean, exaggerating.
No. That's literally what happened, dude. Like, it's it's baffling.
Yeah, I mean,
Kill
Christ.
the police. God
Yeah.
damn it. Like,
First of all, kill the police.
if you're doing anything other than that with your pent-up energy, you're wasting your time.
Second of all, like, I know that we're constantly on this podcast talking about like how stupid comedy is and how like we regret doing it.
It's so stupid.
But it's like, why does this attract just like the worst personality types on earth?
Brandon, of course it does, dude. You're on a stage with a microphone. You're the center of attention for 5 to 50 minutes, and everybody is agreeing with you without contributing. That is the drug that is comedy.
Yeah. I guess you're
I mean,
right.
that's partially. Look, honestly, that's partially.
Maybe
why I
that's
got
why
into it.
like none of these people like do podcasts because you don't get immediate feedback.
Oh, that might be true.
Like a podcast, it's you and me hanging out, being funny. We find out later if people like it or not.
yeah.
But these people, everything they do is fucking. It's a post. It's on stage. 'Cause they can't fucking handle being in a vacuum.
Yeah, man. I don't. I think that like on some level, a lot of them genuinely just like don't know how to be regular people. That's what I was trying to think of a better word, but that's literally what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you throw in the class issue of like a lot of them. What has their life been? They grew up rich. They went to like a liberal arts college for no money, and now they're living in an apartment that their parents pay for.
Yep. How many? How fucking many do we know like that? It's yeah, dude. Comedy's bad. I here's the thing. I can't wait to do it again, but I also can't wait to never give a not do it again without giving a shit. You know what? Just do it when I feel like it because I enjoy it. Not care where I stand in the scene.
Yeah, honestly, like the only way that I could see myself really like wanting to like consistently do comedy again is if I like moved back like home.
Yeah.
Like Bae was asking me, she's like, so do I like never get to see you do stand up? Are you done forever? And the most realistic scenario I could think of is like I'm a dad in Pennsylvania who goes out once or twice a month.
Ooh. I mean, that's a proven path, dude.
Yeah, you go out, you host at the club 3 times a year. You don't go to fucking open mics. You don't fucking hang out with 23-year-olds.
You raise your kids.
You raise your goddamn
You raise your
kids.
goddamn family.
And then you go out and are funnier than fucking losers because you have a life and stakes.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think I'm gonna sublet an apartment for New York for like 2 months. Mm-hmm. Which will be nice. It'll be
Yeah,
nice to
you'll
just
be
do
like
some comedy.
Travis. You can drive a cab.
I would love to get to start driving again. I miss traversing the city at night alone with my thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was actually, I was
Yeah,
thinking about
you
that.
wipe off the cum and the blood. You hose it off.
That was when I was my happiest in LA, when I was just like driving around on an empty tank, like trying to get home from Thousand Oaks from Postmating. just like panicked but taking in the city.
There is something, you really feel alive when you're about to run out of gas because it's so hard to do.
I've become a little desensitized to it.
It happened to me when I was moving here. I didn't realize just how fucking like desolate Texas is.
Yeah.
So I was like, I can make it to the next gas station. Let me tell you. It was a long... By the end of it, I was like, okay, so I'm going to turn the music off, the air off, the lights.
Brendan.
I'm like, the headlights have got to be using some of this power.
They are.
I'll just turn those off.
They are. I would play this game twice a week. I really would. Dude, I can't tell you how many times I have run out of gas. It's more than 10.
What do you do?
Well, this is when I had AAA.
So you would
So,
call
like, I got
AAA.
like AAA as a birthday gift. You can use that like 3 times a year.
And they just bring you a gallon of gas?
They'll give you like 2 gallons, and you're like, great. And then like, but that's all the gas that I put in my car for like the week.
You're stealing other people's AAA cards.
It was so.
Fill up your tank.
It was so funny. One time I got the same guy within the course of like 10 days filling my gas because they called the same like auto shop to come out and give me gas. And he like pulls up. He's like, "What's going on, man?"
Dude, you're so good at being homeless.
I was. Here's a story I've literally never told. I was thinking about this today. Mm-hmm. This is a tough one. This is like
Okay.
genuinely embarrassing.
Is this the one that I want it to be?
I don't know. What one are you thinking about?
It involves Craigslist.
No.
Okay.
No, this is about being homeless. And I was like realizing the amount of cognitive dissonance that was going on in my brain like the fact that I was just like going to bed every night, like shivering, freezing, and sleeping through it, and like being so cold that I would wake up at 4 a.m. like just in my car before the sun was up. Nothing is open, so I've just got to like be in my car. The fact that I walked
like me camping.
like you camping. I didn't even. You're stupid because you didn't have to do that.
No, I chose that.
If we're being honest, me too, kind of. Okay. So here's a story that I've never told. And it is almost when this really, if what had happened to me, if what had almost happened to me had happened, it would have been a point of fucking no return.
Oh my God.
There was a portion where when I was watching Michael's car, I was also sleeping in it. And I was sleeping in a court not far from here, like in Burbank. I think
Why did he need his car watched?
because he was leaving and he needed it. I wasn't supposed to.
You weren't supposed to live in it.
He does not know this.
So wait, what did he say? Like, you can borrow my car while I'm gone?
He
or-
said, just watch my car. And he's like, don't drive it. And I was like, okay, I won't drive it. And then Dom later, he was like, I told Michael that you're definitely going to drive his car. I'm like, you did? All right, I guess I can. So I was watching his car.
What? You're so almost you're living in someone else's car.
I never even thought about that. And I had it parked in a court. Not, I feel fine telling this because the car. He has a new car.
Yeah.
The car in question doesn't even exist. Its sins have been washed clean. Okay,
Yeah,
so
it's
I don't
true. think
that he can get mad at me. So I was sleeping in a court in Burbank, not far from here, and I was fucking sleeping in his car, and I would just like hang out in there because I didn't have anywhere to go during the day. It would get really fucking hot, so I would just like be in Michael's car with my shirt off, sometimes my pants off too, just like in my underwear, sweating like crazy, just like, and then and people would be fucking jogging like in the morning and at night, and I would recline the seat all the way back and like try to hide from them. I would change in his car. People noticed.
People saw your dick.
People. Yeah, probably. But I thought that I was being really slick. And people 100% started noticing that I was just camped in a car in their cul-de-sac. When you're doing weird things when you're homeless, like the amount of like blinders are on in a really crazy way. Like there's all this cognitive dissonance of just like, I bet that this isn't that weird. And it's the weirdest fucking
Well, there's
thing.
something about a cul-de-sac that really makes you feel invisible. Despite the fact that there's no through traffic, so the people who live there will 100% notice you.
They're just like, I've never seen that car before. There's movement in it constantly.
I remember in high school, me and my first girlfriend, we would just drive somewhere in her neighborhood and park, and she would suck my dick.
Yeah.
So I'm just like,
Bad move.
Yeah, bad move. So I'm like parked on the street, getting my dick sucked. And then I turn and there's like just a dad like banging on the door. I like put it down. And he's like, "What are you guys?" He's like, "What are you doing here?" Because I think he thought we were like casing his house or something to rob it.
Oh my
but then he
God.
saw it was just like a teen couple, and he's like, "Oh, okay." He just left. And I think we just found like a different cul-de-sac.
Yeah. That's where you get your dick sucked. There's something safe about a cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
Okay, so but anyway, so what
I
happened?
remember one time. Sorry, let me
Yes.
just, one time. So there was a different cul-de-sac in my neighborhood, and this is the one that led to the cornfield that I think an episode is named
Right,
after.
yes.
But so we pull up, and we park there, and we get out with like a sleeping bag. And this lady
God,
like
dude.
like comes out of her house, and she's like, "Hey, I notice your car here a lot. What are you doing?" And we're like, "Stargazing." And then she looks at this filthy sleeping bag. Just disgusting. And she's like, "All right." Goes back in her house.
Jesus Christ.
There should really just be like, there should be a designated like lot in every town
where you can
where teens can fuck, but
Well,
only teens.
there used to be lookouts for that.
Yeah.
In the 50s. Okay, but so I'm in Michael's car. Now, the thing about Michael's car, I forget where my car was parked. I had my car at this point, but I liked Michael's car. Like I think that
Michael, he owns nice things.
He does own nice things.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna. I hope he never hears this. Somebody will tell him. Michael's car was also running out of gas, and because I was stingy. So one day I go to start Michael's car. It's got no gas in it. So I'm like, fuck. But I have a gas tank in my car. So I walk to wherever my car was parked, which must have been like in another, because it wasn't parked over here, but it was parked in like another neighborhood, still in Burbank. And I get my gas tank. And so at around 5 o'clock, I walk down to it's the gas station by the laundromat, down by like do you know what I'm talking about? Like there's like the intersection across from like the liquor store.
Yeah.
Past like the Starbucks. And I put like $2.34 of gas in the gas tank, because I would do that regularly. I would like regularly just put like shit money, like not even a gallon. And so I'm like, okay, I've got some gas in the car, and I found a place to like crash that night. So I was gonna go crash somewhere, and I'm walking back. I'm so pumped that I have gas. And when I round the corner to where my car is parked, there are 3 cop cars and 5 policemen surrounding the car, like shining flashlights in it.
Michael's car.
Surrounding Michael's car, shining flashlights in it, trying to figure out if somebody's been in there. And so I'm just like walking towards them with a full tank of gas, and I just like
Like a gas can.
a gas can. And so yeah, a gas. It's not even full. It's like half full. And so I'm like freaking out, because I'm like I'm clearly. We clearly go together, me and this car. and so I'm just like eyes locked forward. I can't turn around because that's suspicious. So I just like walk towards the cops, make a left. I'm on the sidewalk parallel to them. I'm just like walking, staring ahead, and then I loop down, like I make another left and just like loop down another street. And I just like walked around for hours from different vantage points, trying to figure out like when they would leave. And so like,
Dude, it
it
became Metal Gear.
It was literally Metal Gear Solid.
You just in a cardboard box.
2 of the cop cars left. 1 stayed
Uh-huh.
to like see if I came back. And then like after, I think like all told, it was like an hour and 45. I waited for the final cop to leave. And then just like, dude, I got that rush of adrenaline and I just booked it towards the car.
I'm just imagining you like in the bush, you have like the stealth meter above you. Like you throw a pebble, the cop is like, I think I heard something. And then you fucking just like smash his head into the ground.
Yeah, I try to choke hold the cop.
You're just whistling.
Yeah. So the cop finally leaves. I fucking fill the tank up with gas. I get in. I just punch the accelerator out of the neighborhood. And I drove down to my friend's house in East LA. I mean, that was truly like, dude, imagine if I had taken a nap like I had considered doing before. I was like, I should put gas in the car. I would have gone to jail. Michael's car would have been impounded.
It would have been like, yeah, they would have been like, is this your car? You'd be like, it's my friend's car. And they'd be like, he stole this fucking car.
And they'd be like, do you have insurance? And I'd be like, I mean, that.
Do you have a license? Well, I have an expired Maryland driver's license.
Literally.
Do you not have a current ID?
I have a current ID now.
Oh, okay.
But I got it renewed in Maryland. That's not illegal. It's legal to have an out-of-state license.
Where you live in Maryland.
Where I legally live.
Where you legally live.
Yeah, dude, but that would have been like, if that had gone down differently, that would have just been like a turning point in my life.
Mm-hmm. You would have gone to non-hospital jail.
Yeah, I was thinking about that today and just being like, whoa, dude, the amount of like mental blocks. It's crazy how like my brain was essentially running on like auxiliary power. Just like
You drive away and you're like, well, Nick, you're really turning this around.
I mean, I think I was literally, I was operating in like I think that I was like accessing like a more primal part of my brain where like I was literally looking
You were
for
all STEM.
all STEM, dude. Just on the lookout for predators constantly, just like using the bare essentials of my mind.
No self-reflection. No
none,
goals.
None at all. Just fight or flight.
Yeah, during that time, we kept saying, we're like, Nick, you're acting like a junkie, but we know you're not doing drugs.
Didn't have any money for him. Oh my god!
It was just constant pillhead behavior, but we're like, but we see you. We know you're not high.
I would have loved to have had some drugs. Oh my god. I think that was, thinking back on that, I'm just like, whoa, that was it. And that is the problem with these people on Twitter. They've never had to live in a fucking car.
They've never had to live in someone else's car that you need to case. Have you ever had to wait 12 hours to go home to your car?
I fully think I could like rob a casino at this point. I'm just like Danny Ocean trying to put a half a gallon of gas in a car. It was such a stupid fucking time in my life.
It's like the heist thing. It's like, all right, first we get gas in the car, and then it just cuts to like 45 minutes of uncut footage of you waiting. Boop, 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 da, ba, da, boop, boop.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
Man, I'll probably meet you there at some point.
What do you mean?
I'll probably, I could see myself sinking to those kinds of depths.
Sure you could. Mm-hmm. You'll get there.
For sure.
I truly believe that everybody could possibly get there. Mm-hmm. And will get there.
I think that my worst and best days are ahead of me.
I would actually say that about when I was living in my car. They were some of my worst and best days in LA. Look, as scary as it is to sleep at the foot of like the Baldwin Hills, over the Culver City stairs, like that overlooking Baldwin Hills, there's also something incredibly free about just like at 1 a.m. like ascending the entirety of that fucking like small mountain and just like looking out over the city and just being like, nobody knows that I'm here. Which is terrible.
If they knew, they would be very upset with me.
You're not supposed to be there. And it was a terrifying and freeing sensation. Mm-hmm. That was truly when I felt like, okay, like my life is mine. I genuinely, I don't know how else to explain it.
I get everything I need. I got 35 cents of gas.
Well,
I have a loaf of bread.
Well, no, it was just like, I'm literally living what most people are afraid of, and I'm not freaking out. Mm-hmm. So I think I can handle it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So there's some tips and tricks for our homeless listeners.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You just have to manifest. If you're homeless, just go stand on a hill and Tony Robbins that shit.
I'm imagining you in like your vision board, and it's like a 1992 Toyota Corolla. Just like a picture of change, like a lot of change.
Yeah, $7 in change. Dude, you don't understand. I swear to God, I have an appreciation for quarters that I never had before that time in my life. Mm-hmm. I would look at quarters like they were $100 bills. Because Brendan, 4 of them make $1.
It's true. It's in the name, even. Ugh, man.
Early LA.
Man, I think I did I think I made some wrong moves. Because I've been thinking about, I'm excited to go back to school and get like a shitty job while I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I'm like, why wasn't I doing this the whole time? Why wasn't I like working a shittier job that made me less miserable and having a little bit less money?
Because it's hard to move. It is hard to move backwards, right? So like you
Yeah.
ascended from waiting tables to being a bank teller, and it's objectively like a back. You know, like being a teller isn't the worst job.
Well, I'm not a teller anymore. That's part
Right.
of it. Is
Right.
It's like I worked my way up, but then it's like I probably make the same as a server in LA.
Dude.
So
You know what it is? You're Mike Milligan at the end of Fargo. You think you got what you wanted, but now you have a desk job that you hate.
yeah,
You're middle management.
I mean, basically, it's like I made that decision based off of like what my parents taught me you're supposed to do.
Right.
And it's like, well, why did I move to fucking Los Angeles to be a banker?
Yeah.
I should have been like, I should have been like, okay, I'm gonna be poor and like reach for every opportunity possible.
Yeah.
And what did I do? I started a goddamn podcast, which is somehow the most successful thing I've ever done.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's good. I
Yeah.
think it's good. I was thinking. I wish I could get back to the glory days of the first year. Man, I wish you had been there. Well, you were there for a little bit. The Sean Preston situation.
That was a fun house.
I wanted it to stay that way forever. It should have always been a shitty place in South Central, air mattresses in the living room, boys piled up. But somebody had to move up a lifestyle, and that was when that's when it stopped feeling like the adventure.
Yeah, boys club. I
Yeah.
mean, we could go back.
Yeah, I might have to soon. I got to start looking. Rent is falling everywhere.
Really?
Yeah, dude, COVID pricing.
Oh, nice.
Rent. That's part of why I want to sublet in New York for 2 months because I think I could get like a decent place for like $500 or $600 a month.
It's not bad.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought that was gonna go on for like 4 years, to just like living in living rooms and fucking staying up all night with Sean Preston while he does cocaine.
Yeah, I mean, that's when I moved here. That's what I envisioned it was going to be, and then I got here, and it was kind of like that.
It's very domestic though.
Yeah, but I got sucked into that. And I was on the wrong side of it. I regret that.
Yeah, it's okay.
Now Isaac's all covered in ants, and I feel responsible in a way.
But Isaac's having a good time. He got back to it.
Yeah.
Isaac got back to the flop house.
I mean, I think that there's a version of Flophouse where, like, Isaac, he was telling me, he's like, man, I hate now that I can't even come without the ants attacking it. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I come in a towel, and then I walk away, and then I come back, and the ants have swarmed the towel.
Oh, is that what's happening in my room?
But, like, until he explained the towel thing, I was just imagining, like, Isaac's jerking off standing, and he comes, and the ants jump up like piranhas.
Dude, it's like Indiana Jones 4 when the guy gets eaten by the ants. Yeah, they swarm Isaac's dick and then they retreat and it's just a bone. There's just a single bone sticking out.
Either that or he comes and each ant picks it up like a little water droplet and carries it over a bridge of ants.
Oh, fuck.
I love Isaac. I love how like complacent he is.
Yeah.
Where we were kind of roasting him in the group chat and someone's like, why don't you come into toilet paper? And he's just like, ah.
I get it. It's good. I would rather have a standby rag that like, don't have to replace
That's the sex/jack towel.
Yeah. Well, I have we have enough respect that we have separate towels for sex and jacking. I don't want to wipe Bay off with the jack towel.
But it's the same. It's the same fluid.
Something about the jack. I don't know. Something about the jack towel feels a little.
I mean, I don't
filthier.
even really jack anymore.
Right.
I will like
having sex.
on rare occasions. Usually it's like the day after I have sex, where I'm like still horny from the sex. But for the most part, Bay is my only sexual outlet, which I think is very healthy.
Oh, that's good.
I'm off Twitter. I'm off porn.
You just got Bay, dude. Is Bay getting your drafts? as well.
Oh, yeah, am I sending her my tweets? No, I just, the tweets have just stopped occurring to me, which is fine. Like, every now and then I'll think of something, I'm like, oh, that would be a good tweet, and then the moment passes, and I'm fine.
You're like, oh, it is nice to just have stimulating thoughts.
Yeah, it is nice to just have thoughts.
Yeah, remember when like every thought wasn't fucking performative?
Yeah.
Like thinking is straight up performative now.
Yeah. Also, like, I mean, I've said this before. Like, I wouldn't hate tweeting if it didn't involve reading tweets.
Right, if you could just like put it out there.
If I could put it out there, have no idea if people like it or not.
Right.
Like, I fucking miss. There's zero. It used to be, you could have a blog.
Mm-hmm.
You could just post things. Maybe you knew how many people were visiting.
Right.
But there's no comments, no likes. There's nowhere on the internet now where you just publish and just go about your business.
Right. That's very true.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because there's no way to like, because everything now is like, how can we get advertisers involved? So there's got to be some way to measure.
There's got to be some way
engagement.
to like gamify this so that it tricks your fucking brain.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everything is a fucking slot machine.
Everything, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really terrifying. I've really been pining. We talk about this a lot. I've been really been pining for like old internet.
Yeah.
Like it was supposed to be so different, dude. The possibility of that is not where we ended up at all.
Yeah. Do you remember like you would post something, people would respond horrifically, and if you complained, they were like, "Yeah, it's the internet."
Yeah. That's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, dude, my dad was giving me chills because my dad has started watching Dave Rubin and like Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens.
Jesus.
I know. We were on FaceTime.
That's getting to dads now. That
Dude.
was purely son content.
Brendan, listen to this. He goes, yeah, I watched Candace Owens. I watched her on that guy Dave Rubin. You know, he was one of those MSNBC guys, but then he took the red pill. And I was like, did you say took the red pill? He goes, yeah, I know what that is. And I'm like, cool. Awesome. It's like, I'm like,
Jesus Christ.
dude,
it's gotten to just rural Maryland dads.
yes, dude, but I think it honestly is like it's in the mainstream conversation now. Most people watch fucking Joe Rogan, and that's weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
It's weird.
I feel fucking... I can't tell what's happening, but like... I don't know, like what we've been saying about like kind of reflecting over the last couple weeks and kind of feeling weird about certain stuff. I'm like, is Joe Rogan not okay? Like, is this not fine?
I don't
fuck it. I don't know what the fuck's happening to my brain. Like, I don't want to be one of those guys who like gets a girlfriend and then stops being evil. But,
right.
like,
Well,
but I'm starting to be like, maybe there is consequences to having like
I think that there is.
racists on your show. Yeah.
I think that there is, and I think it's fine to criticize him. It's not that I think that Joe Rogan as a guy is fine. I think it's fine that like that content exists, but
No, I'm not saying that his show shouldn't exist or whatever, but I used to be, it's like, oh, you're going to get mad that he had like Jordan Peterson or Milo Yiannopoulos on his podcast, you fucking baby. And now I'm like, oh, maybe that, like, he should be allowed to do that, but maybe it does cause bad
yeah,
like harm.
no, dude, it does because like I agree. I think that what the point that we're circling around is there's no like now that all information is available. Like so the monoculture is bad because the narrative can be controlled by people in power. But like when it's a fucking free for all of information and opinions, it's also it's also really hard to discern what is useful and credible information and what's bullshit. And
Yeah.
and
I mean, we were into JP for a little bit, and now
Sure.
look at him. He's retarded.
he's mentally retarded.
He tried to turn his brain off and on again to quit pills. And let me tell you, it didn't boot correctly.
I love to imagine JP on life support and his daughter's like, I'm just gonna unplug it and plug it really quick. Like I'm just gonna
He doesn't wake up right away, so they have to put raw beef under his nose like smelling salts.
but the thing
I'm sorry, I just want to jump.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Part of it might also be like the fact that we're no longer like wrapped up mentally in like producing stand-up comedy and like fighting these people and everything. like fighting people who like, you know, like woke culture people.
Mm-hmm.
That now I don't feel like I have a horse in the race anymore. Where it's like, oh, you gotta let people fucking do whatever they want. Like it used to be like I would have put like if someone was like you should like when people were like, oh, you shouldn't have Milo on Legion of Skanks or whatever. If like some story like that, and I would just immediately like instinctively be like, no, it's good actually, and
Yeah, no, well,
just because I hated those people so much, like the fucking like
I think
alt comics.
I think that it ties into once you stop giving a fuck about stand up, which is good, you stop giving a fuck about it on both sides. So like, dude, whenever I see somebody like like whether they're on the side of all comedy should be woke or all comedy should push back against that, I'm like, how about you just do whatever the fuck you want and people like it or they don't like it, but like don't be shocked if you're saying inflammatory shit on the right or the left. It's fine if people fucking don't like it, dude.
Yeah.
It's fine if people get mad that you have like a controversial guest who associates with fucking Nazis on your show. It's fine if people are upset about that.
yeah.
Like, you know,
Are we growing?
I think
Is this our character arc?
it might be. I think that I'm just getting like I think the problem is like there's a real push right now for like I think that I'm kind of becoming kind of like suspicious of like populism. Because I think rarely is the populace correct about the right thing to do. You know what I mean? So like when you have all these like populist like talking heads that are like becoming the main voices in the national conversation, I'm like, that's probably fucking bad. Because most of these people aren't experts.
Yeah.
They're just saying what you could have thought of yourself, so that's why you like it.
Yeah, I guess that is Rogan.
That's Rogan, dude. He's the populist
He's like
fucking
he's
moderator.
an entertaining broadcaster, but
And he has no stances of his own except whether or not fucking pot is bad for you. It's bad for you.
in like 2,000 episodes, the only person he's ever disagreed with is Jamie Kilstein.
Yeah, dude. It's like I guess it's just me. I'm just like I don't give a fuck, you know?
Yeah, I guess also it could be like the fact that, I mean, during like before Trump, culture war shit was like, it felt like pretend.
Yeah.
But now it's like unrelated to like if it's okay to like joke or whatever. It's like the cops are like the cops are shooting people for filming them
Yeah.
like in the streets, and it's like, oh no, things are actually bad now, and I don't fucking care about defending saying slurs if you're being ironic.
Yeah, if I get looped in like I mean, it's fucking complicated, right? Because because there are a lot of people. I mean, this is where it's just like I want everybody to focus on the things that are the actual problems, because canceling fucking Megan Amram for saying that is fucking stupid. It's not a real problem. That is not where you should be directing your energy. But it is also crazy that like there have been 1,000 videos in the past 2 weeks of police like, you know, hurting old people and children and peaceful protesters.
We need to cancel them. That's why they have their badge numbers covered. Honestly, here's what we need to do. In order for us to be able to cancel cops, every cop should have to have their TikTok handle on their badge, because that's where they're posting. I don't know what it is about TikTok, but fucking cops love making TikTok.
Sean Preston said he was like in 2 years all body cam footage will just upload directly to TikTok.
Dude, he like retweeted the funniest cop TikTok ever. That's just like I forget what music was playing. I think it was like fucking Phil Collins or something playing. And the cop is just taking off his wedding ring and putting it back on.
Yes,
and
dude.
it says like, how many times will I forgive her for cheating? You should not be allowed to make TikToks in your squad car.
If you're a cop who's making a TikTok, you're done.
Yeah.
You're done. You do not get to be a fucking police officer anymore.
Did you see there's this video? It's this cop lady who I hate like recycling like meme humor, like jokes that aren't mine, but like she's a Karen, you know. Like, so it's like this Karen cop who's in the squad car, and she's on like Facebook Live crying because she went through the
She's
McDonald's.
not even a real police officer.
Oh, she isn't?
Yeah, dude, the department that she was allegedly associated with like put out a statement just like, she is not on our police force. We will be looking into this.
What?
Yeah, I saw it on Facebook today. I should verify it, but I saw that today.
Uh-huh.
And they were like the McDonald's police officer lady is not associated with us. So it's just a fucking crazy person.
That's very confusing then.
Yeah.
Well, then I don't even know what my point is. I mean,
but
she was wearing a polo, so I was like, oh, maybe she's like a school cop or like something like a crossing guard.
yeah. But this is what I mean. Mm-hmm. It's just a constant, dude. It's just a deluge of fucking like information that you can't even make heads or tails of, and nobody knows what's going on.
Yeah. No one at all.
Nobody at all knows what's going on. Oh, it's so fucking weird. Things got so weird this year.
They really did.
I really think this might be one of the last years.
Yeah, I mean, 2020, that's got to be close to how many numbers there are.
Yeah, dude. I've never tried to count past that.
Me neither.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If I had to spitball how many numbers there were, within 3,000, I think I would guess.
Yeah.
I've never seen more than 3,000 numbers.
I've never seen more than 3,000 of anything.
Yeah, not in my
any
bank
given-
account. Not in my... But,
I'm imagining like 2013 Nick Oldershaw stand-up now where you're like, there can't be that many numbers.
well, you ever hear Isaac wrote a bit? He's the Nick Oldershaw bit. I didn't. He's like, this is a bit that you would write. Or I think he did it on stage a couple times. He just goes, there have to be more colors, right? This can't be all the colors there are.
Yeah. Your early stand-up was just like baffling assertion.
I want to get back to that.
Oh man, my early stand-up was just like schizophrenia.
Oh,
And honestly, like some of that stuff I think is like, I remember one of my early bits is like, you ever come home and your dad's asleep in your bed? Come on, Dad, you got your own bed.
that's very funny. Or maybe it was Miguel A. Nunez.
That bit's like,
That bit's good. I love that bit.
you're trying to jerk off and the wolves are watching? Get those wolves out of here.
Honestly, we've kind of returned to that on this podcast. That's right up there with the boys in the well. Oh, Jesus, dude. I was thinking. I'm thinking about Sean Preston. This is not related, but I was thinking about this story because I was texting him today. Did I ever tell the story of the 4th of July that Sean and I spent
No, I don't think so.
with the cuckold?
No.
Do we have time? How much time?
We
do have?
absolutely have time.
Okay.
We're at 52 minutes.
First year that Sean Preston was in LA. This is we had the kind of night that like Japan Droid songs are about, just like unbridled youth. So we got invited, and this should have been like indicative of things to come, of like what living in LA was like. I got invited to a 4th of July party with my mom, by my mom's friend. Like she works in production. Like her and her husband like worked on the Grammys and stuff, and so it was like all like Hollywood couples. And this married couple with their son, the only place they could afford in the Valley was a shed in the back of their parents' house. So this 4th of July party is like in this decked out shed. There's kids running everywhere. It's all like MILFs and their fucking husbands. And these women are horny. There's no loyalty in the Valley. Okay, there's just not. And so Sean and I show up, you know, fucking like 22 and 24 respectively. He might have been 25. And I'm wearing Sean's clothes. So like, because I wanted to look hot. So like, every time Sean and I would go out, I would like come into the living room and he'd go, "You're not wearing that." And then he would put me in like a Canadian tuxedo and it would look great. Like,
I remember that happening when I visited.
Yeah,
we were
dude.
going to the movie screening.
he was literally always hooking me up with sick fits. And so there was this.
Sean, move back. It's going to be
Please.
Boy's house again.
He's coming out. I think he's trying to get out to Joshua Tree in like September.
Nice.
We should go. But so there's this lady there this hot redhead, Tracy. And Tracy like zeroes in on me and Sean immediately. And her husband has already like drunk himself to the point where like he's just falling asleep on a couch. And her kids are like running around and all this stuff. And she comes over and she's like got her arm around me and got her arm around Sean. And she keeps trying to like kiss us on the mouth. And, like her kids are coming up and asking what she's doing, and she's like, "Why can't you go take a nap like Daddy?" Like that's what she said. And so we're fucking living it up with Tracy, hot redheaded MILF. We're like kissing her on the neck, all this weird shit. Just dude, brazenly among all of her like just her friends.
Just looking her 10-year-old son in the eyes as you do it.
Dude, the kids, the backyard is very small. These people lived in a shed. Okay, it's very small. And like all,
I love like Hollywood is so sinful that these people are living like Hollywood excess in a shed.
literally, it's just, dude.
You're having a Boogie Nights party in a damn shed.
My thought was like, oh, this is the culture out here, clearly. And so like everybody's fine with it. They're like laughing at the fact that Tracy is like trying to hook up with us while her husband is like drunk asleep. Like it's a thing that she does basically. And then her husband like lurches awake. This guy was a classic. He looked like, Daniel Stern. He's the tall guy in Home Alone, the tall bandit.
Yeah.
Just a classic. Like if you were to cast a cuckold, this was the guy. And so Tracy's fucking like kissing me and Sean on the neck, just like continuing to flirt with us, like telling us how cute we are. And he's just standing like 10 feet away, like, honey, hey, honey. Like he's like trying to get her attention. He's like, hey, honey, why don't you come over? Oh, I made you a drink. And she's telling him to like, shut up.
It's fucking Little Bill.
It's literally Little Bill. It's...
Oh my god.
So anyway, long story short, Sean and I got drunk. Fucking eventually, like we had to go. We were getting like pretty weirded out by the fact that we were just like publicly cucking this guy. There's a part 2 to this story that I was texting Sean about. Went home. Fucking drunk. I'm not going to say who was driving. It could have been me, could have been Sean. So who's responsible? But we drunk drove all the way home from the valley. Just like blew past like 3 different DUI checkpoints. Just like, whew, glad we didn't go down that road. just blasting fucking like, girl bands on Sean's stereo. It's one of the greatest nights I've ever had in LA. One of the greatest nights. So a year late, so the part 2 to this story is a year later I got invited they moved into a bigger house. I got invited to their 4th of July party again. And Sean had already moved away. But I'm going because I'm like, yeah, dude, I want to fucking hook up with MILFs. I want to seal the deal this time with Tracy. Because I'm not going to compete with my boy.
Yeah.
That was the only reason I didn't fuck Tracy, obviously. It's because Sean was there.
Yeah, I mean, when you sense competition, you flip the table.
I'm like, no. I know that Sean has a bigger dick than me. It's not.
Yeah.
So
Sean is like a comically like attractive man.
Yes.
To the point where like if women see him hanging out with us, they must be confused.
the fact that he has a big dick and knows that he has a big dick is infuriating. And he'll say that he doesn't get 3 beers in him, which I guess won't happen now. But
I mean, you're not going to get only 3 beers in him now.
when he was...
It's going to be many. Oh, is he sober again?
I think he's sober, dude. I think he's like sober. Him and his girlfriend are like keeping each other. I think I might not be. I mean, not that he's keeping her sober. I think that she's keeping him sober.
Okay,
I
I
might
haven't
be
talked to
wrong.
him a little bit.
I
I just remember Joshua Tree.
oh, off the wagon, on the wagon, back on.
Yeah, like flying across the country to deliberately fall off the wagon.
Yes, dude.
we supervised his premeditated relapse.
We helped him down off the wagon. That's what I always say. So
I mean, the wagon. It basically like he's on the wagon, and then we're at like the Skyrim town where the dragon attacks.
yes,
We're just like, oh, get down. Oh, you're awake.
I remember one night Sean was like blasted drunk, and we're driving home, and he just like he puts on like grindcore, so it's just like ooh, just like and he turns it down to turn to me and go, Nick, I know I have a big dick. And I was like, yeah, Sean, we all know. But so anyway,
My favorite Sean Preston non sequitur is like, I don't think he's gonna get mad at this
I don't think
one.
he cares.
We were in like it was when I visited you guys, and I hadn't met Sean before, and you were telling me, you're like, here's the thing about Sean. Sean's gay. Like, like,
oh yeah,
yeah, you're like, Sean is a gay man. And then like it was scripted, Sean walks out of the kitchen and says to no one, I think if I was gonna have sex with a man, I'd pick a black one.
yes.
You just looked at me.
Dude, it was. I remember. I wish there was a laugh track. I mean,
Yeah, it was like a sitcom, but like a sitcom, like who would pick this up? Because-
without getting sidetracked.
oh, hold on, let me just
go
real
ahead.
quick. I want to make us a live audience sitcom where we bomb.
Oh, you mean Mulaney?
I want like it to cut to the audience, like audience shots where people are just like, "What?"
Just the sound of like people like leaving, just like footsteps rustling, people eating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want that so bad. Okay, wait. Before I
Yeah.
Okay, so a year later, I get invited to this. They throw a 4th of July party again at their new house, and I'm excited. I want to see fucking Tracy, and I'm on grill duty or whatever. So I'm like, okay, I'm like cooking food. People look up to people who cook food. I'm providing. I'm gonna score some MILF pussy, right? And so the whole like party, I'm talking to all the parents. I'm like, hey, where's Tracy, right? Like, and they're like, oh, did you meet Tracy? I'm like, yeah, Tracy was really, really sweet. I mean, Tracy was like trying to like make out with us like while her husband was watching, and then everybody's like, "Oh yeah," and then they all like look down. Like, there's like a moment where they're all really silent. They're like, "I don't think she's gonna be doing that this year." And I was like, "What?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And the husband of the guy invited me, the husband of the woman who invited me said, "You'll see." So hour into the party,
Oh my god.
yeah, dude, Tracy shows up riddled with cancer. Oh my god, dude. She I mean like it got her. It got her bad. And I think the funniest thing is her husband looked so pleased. Like he was just smiling.
He's almost escaped.
Yes, dude. I was like there was a part of me was like, did you do this? Did you like move the microwave into the bedroom when she was asleep? It was so like I cannot tell you, it was genuinely so fucking funny because he looked so happy.
Do you think like he saw how bad she was and then was like called the host of the party? He's like, invite those boys back. I want them to see this.
Like hands down, most cinematic moment of my life ever. I was like, the moral. Holy fuck.
I don't think we're gonna top
I don't
that.
think we're going to top that.
All right. Yeah, join the Discord.
Follow us on
follow
Instagram,
the
follow us on
accounts.
Twitter.
Yeah, I think that's everything.
Knock, knock, open up, it's me, the crazy, shady, faded fucker, so rock the G. See a lady, make a baby, lead her on in peace. Only time I give a fuck is for my own release. That's why I own these streets. Straight up, portfolio showing growth, fuck a pay cut. Yeah, you know I stay slut. Catch me in the spot, looping up for the self-suck. Oh fuck, I busted already, I'm coming bucket so heavy. My dream of cream coming steady, now my mouth open, I'm ready. I'm talking solo, heavy petting on a Friday night. Not talking bashing the bishop, more like Nantucket's delight. I'm taking all the time I need to do it just right. Got my candles in the fishnets cause it's on tonight. Oh that's right, it's time to fillet, no need to debate. Me, I suck until I go ooh wee and spray my white pee. I got that ski ski.